for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds still blow. We're pirates born with hearts aglow. In a fantasy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. From dragon's lair to wizard's keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds still blow. We're pirates born with hearts aglow. In a fantasy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. From dragon's lair to wizard's keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds still blow. We're pirates born with hearts aglow. In a fantasy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. From dragon's lair to wizard's keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands and enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds still blow. We're pirates born with hearts aglow. In a fantasy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. Hee-ho, hee-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands dragon's lair to wizards keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands, enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds do blow. We're pirates bold with hearts aglow. In a fancy world where legends glow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands, enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. From dragon's lair to wizard's keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands, enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds do blow. We're pirates bold with hearts aglow. In a fancy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands, enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. From dragon's lair to wizard's keep, we journey far where shadows creep. With magic's might and fearless cheer, we'll conquer all, no foe we fear. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical lands, enchanted gates. With swords in hand and tales untold, we'll find our glory and riches of gold. So join us now on this epic quest for treasure, adventure, and glory's crest. With stars above and the seas below, our pirate saga's about to unfold. The sails are high and the winds do blow. We're pirates bold with hearts aglow. In a fancy world where legends grow, we seek out treasure in the realms below. He-ho, me-hearties, adventure awaits through mystical
You really want to catch a hot mic
enchanted
moment, you
gates.
can't warn us.
With swords in
You have to just flip us if you want hot mic moments.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they caught that whole "this is how you get a hot mic" moment, which is a hot mic, so we'll take that for today. But hello, peoples of the interwebs. It is us, Tales from the Dragon's Tavern, back again to tell the tale of smokes and barrels. And with me is the great Cash. You see, the overlay is a little different. I changed the overlay up a little bit, and I gave them fonts that seem to fit their character.
All I see
Mine
is
looks
spinny.
retarded.
Why ain't no work for
It
me?
makes sense.
Yeah.
shit.
Well, yours,
Ah,
Lucky's
I
is
see.
Lucky's is called finger painting. That is the font I used for that. So
Woohoo!
I felt like
It
that fit
fits me.
well. But
Yeah, you
yes.
did all the weird font thingies. I see.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
Very
it.
nice.
But yes.
Almost like
yes.
it's personalized.
JJ, I'm gonna have to
Crazy.
get with you at some point and figure out how you put those character sheets
Ooh,
Oh,
in
hey
he's
there.
gonna
now.
get with him.
Hey.
Pinky.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
How is it or
how I did
something like that
the.
between you two?
Yeah, how it cycles between characters up on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
little
turned it
corner
off
dealie.
now because I realized I probably haven't updated it in like a level
I
or
know who the
two.
power
Oh,
bottom
fair
is.
enough.
That's
But
all I'm
it
saying.
is
Mhm.
pretty
Who?
easy. It's just a slideshow.
If you gotta ask, Moss.
Yeah, the key word is
True.
power, bitch. All right, it's power.
Tell yourself whatever you need to.
Wow.
Is there a thing called a power top?
I think all tops insinuate power.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I don't understand how this
we
thing
don't
works.
we don't need that
I've already
extra
got uncomfortable with
adjective.
the conversation, and I brought it up.
Dug yourself a hole on that
Instant
one.
regret.
Yeah, I regret
Well,
everything.
the problem is, we here will go lean into it. You know what I mean? Where most other people will be like, well, I don't know about that. We're like, sure, why not? What the fuck? Who
I'm
cares?
not gay. You're gay. Your mom's gay. Your mom's my girlfriend.
Well, that's true, Moss.
Uh,
I got her flowers this morning.
She's a hottie.
I did create your mom, so there is that.
I mean,
Yeah.
even wood. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, anyway,
Enough of that.
on to something else. I will change the subject. Right? But sounds like everybody is in good spirits, which is good because this episode has some fun things planned for you. And let's just go through real quick and see how everybody is doing. And how do we feel about character-wise the ship combat? Do we think that everybody kind of was involved enough? I think I talked about it last stream too. I want to go over it again because I'm still kind of tweaking it a little bit. I've written a whole thing, and I probably will release it. I'll probably make it pretty and let everybody who's watching on Discord and whatnot get a downloaded copy when I'm done with it. That way you guys can use it for your own games. But, we'll just start at the far side of my little screen here. Mega, how are you? And do you think that the ship combat was something that will get better and better as we keep playing?
I am personally doing fantastic, ready for Thanksgiving and some good food. As far as the ship combat, I liked it. We definitely need to work out a few kinks here and there just on how we actually roll it and knowing what we're doing. That's more of a issue on us not knowing the system too well yet. But I thought it went well. I thought it went pretty fast, and I got to make us some zombies who can load our ammo so we can all take turns shooting.
Yeah, and there is an event in this book that will definitely inspire gears. That's where I will
Oh God.
leave that one. But moving along, Biggles, how are you today?
I'm good. I've been locked in my room trying to beat a freaking game that I have 102 hours on so far and still haven't beat it. And the boss keeps running away from me. So I'm going to have to catch it like when I'm driving the ship. And hopefully we kick ass and have some fun.
Nice.
I want to.
Nice. I like it. JT, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday?
I had a lot of jokes about him being locked in his room and beating it off for 100 hours, but I was like, I'm gonna let it go because
Just go for it. Go for it.
Just
Go
go
for
for
it,
it.
let it go.
We're gonna...
Because I really didn't let it go, but I still let it go. It's kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
well,
I'm doing great.
Well, when
I
you get to that thing we talked about earlier that may or may not take place in a modern Phoenix, maybe we can give you a rough area of where you might find somebody stuck in their room just jerking off.
Might end up being a victim. A participant.
They'll be in a tent.
I thought the ship combat was fine, but I'm more of I'd rather stab somebody. But it definitely ran smooth, and it was definitely more fun than I would think ship combat would be. So there was definitely that, but I much prefer the personal touch.
Yes,
being a cat of the blade.
And there will be opportunities for boarding battles, but some of these ships, man, once you do enough damage, they're just gonna surrender. So do a little bit of both as you guys keep exploring the seas. And Captain Moss, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I do have to say that on the last episode of Fear of Ages Past, there was a comment left by some not so cool cat talking about me wearing children's clothes, and I got news for you, JJ. It's the only thing that fits.
You know, he
And
said cat. I thought he's talking about me. I was like, I
you know,
didn't make fun of you about that.
I wore an even smaller shirt today.
Hardware
So
Ford?
that's for you, JJ. That's just for you.
I mean, you
but-
did win that Hervé Villachez shirt in an auction, so I can see why you'd want to wear it, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Tattoo the plane. Oh, I'm not saying you're small or anything, Ross.
It's like I'm like that guy in I think it's the second Transformers movie where that one character goes up to that frat guy. And he's like, "Why don't you go back in there and find a smaller shirt or something?" And the guy's like, "Well, there isn't one." So, but yeah, as far as the ship combat goes, I enjoyed it. I like it a lot. I think it will feel a lot more complete once we can consider it kind of a phase 1, and phase 2 is boarding. Like that'll kind of round it out a lot more. But yeah, and I also think that it'll feel a little bit better once we've got, more guns. We need more guns.
Yes, yeah. When you can almost bombard every round, that'll deal some
Yeah,
major
because it's
damage.
like, we're at 4th level right now, and I mean, it's like even though we did beat that ship, it's almost like still having a short sword equipped at 4th level. You're like, oh, okay, I need to find a different weapon. I want something different, you know.
I get you. I get you. Well, I am working on
It'll
it,
come.
and it'll Tales of the Dragon Tavern will have a great naval battle compendium by the time we are done with this campaign.
I like it.
Along with some other fun pirate stuff. But jumping back into our little map here. We did mostly the naval battle last time. It took us an episode and 26 minutes to get here. But besides that, you guys are now within 20 or so miles of Tidewater Rock, which is this you've heard from most of the OG crew, those who were on the Wormwood with you, and even those who have had some previous pirate like experience, and also kind of a good parting good luck saying from Rickety Squibs that this place is great for those who want to become pirates. It's a great foothold in the kind of southern region of the Shackles. You can see far out into the shipping lanes, and really it's, well, from what you've heard, quite the defensible position. So at this point, it is, I would say, midday, somewhere between like noon and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time you guys have made sure that you scuttled the Elton Bade and gotten all the plunder and the loot, and a few of those, a handful of their sailors are locked in the brig. And what would Captain Wilhelm like to do?
Well, I say we you said that we already burned the other ship?
It's at this point it would be dangerous to go back on it and start looting anymore.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, let's say we leave this wreckage on the horizon and make our way towards Tidewater Rock.
Oh yeah, Captain, I'll take us wherever you say to go.
Hoist the mainsails!
Yes, Captain. Y'all heard the captain. Get to hoisting. We set sail.
Captain Wilhelm, will you make me a sailing lore check, please?
Yes, sir.
And Captain, if you'll excuse me, I have to spend a little time doing something.
Oh, go right ahead. Just be at my call if we need you. We never know what could be out in these waters.
With the winds that you have, you could probably approach the island Probably take you a couple hours. So with the sun kind of at your back, that is when you guys would arrive at Tidewater Rock, or it is also called Windward Island. Is the island that Tidewater Rock sits upon.
Sweet. What was the? Oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. What was the thing? There's the thing. Shoot. What was it? You hit space at the end of it. There it is. Haha.
Or what are we doing?
If you use the measuring tool.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah,
trying-
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And you glimpse upon Windward Island as the sun starts to set and dusk is approaching. One thing you notice is that the island is, well, from a distance and with the sun, you can tell that it kind of does one of these. It's more of like a plateau. And even from out, a couple miles, you can see what looks to be the top, maybe, of a fortress. You have, a telescope or whatnot. So even this far out, you can tell that they have good eyes on the approaching ships or vessels.
Hey, who's up on the crow's nest?
I
It
know
could,
that used to be Slippy.
I was gonna say it could be a party member, or it could just be a random crew. It's kind of who you think would want to be up there, I guess, as evening falls.
I'll shout up to the crow's nest and just say, "Hey, you up there? You're only a silhouette from down here. Take the spyglass and give me a report on what sort of personnel and armaments are in that fort."
You hear, "Aye, aye, Captain," and about a second later, a rope drops with a very intricate kind of basket weaved into the rope. Put it on in there. I'll check her out from up here. It comes on up, and a few moments later, well, I see a couple lights up on the fortress. But I'm gonna tell you what, Captain. Hold on a second. And Smitty comes scrambling down the rigging and says,
Smitty, me boy.
"Captain, when I've heard the tale of Windward Island and Tidewater Rock, and if you approach the fortress now, you're pretty much a sitting duck. And he describes kind of almost a somewhat U-shaped, and the channel leads right into a little bay where the fortress sits from what he can see. And he goes, if they have any type of siege weapon, they're going to be able to hit you the instant you hit that channel. And it's hard to tell since it's getting night, but if I had to say, it's probably half a mile to a mile to the fortress. So you'd be, if you went in there uncautiously, you could probably escape some fire, but if you went in at night, you'd have to slow down. You're going to take some major harassment, and turning around is going to be tough too."
Well, it seems we've got a couple options here. I'll gather the heads, the officers around. And say, Smitty brings up a good point. We can't go ahead and headlong into that channel because they'll have us dead to rights. But we could wait for day and make our way up that channel. At least we'll have a better visual. Or we could try to make a bit of a stealthier approach. And I guess, would I know, or could we see, like, how big is this island? Is this area with the fortress, is that just one small portion of this island? Or is it like, this is a small island with a large fortress?
Just the distance you are, and kind of, being used to having to eyeball this kind of stuff, you think the island is probably about 2 miles by a mile. You're looking at it this way by 2 miles, and it is roughly maybe a mile long, or width is mile, length is 2 kind of thing. It's not a huge island, but it definitely, and the fortress, you can tell if you take the telescope that the landscape kind of goes up from the shores, and so it seems to be sitting obviously higher than the rest of the island.
Well, what say
Captain?
you boys?
Captain, give me a day and an hour, and I may be able to turn the ship and the crew where we are like ghosts and we can't be hit. And then we could jump off and we become material again, and the ship can sail out unharmed and come back and get us after we kill the bad guys and take what we wish.
Gears, how does that even work?
Now you're
Magic.
talking nonsense, Gears.
It's magic, I tell you. I know things.
Captain, the first mate says he knows things, and I'm
It
going
might
to
not
trust him.
work, but it's worth a shot.
I mean, I would do a stealthy approach myself, but
How stealthy can a ship be? We're pretty big.
You'll see Sandra will kind of pipe up and be like, "Hey, if they haven't, we may have gotten lucky with
What?
the sun kind of on our
Sandra?
back." Sandra Quinn, yeah, she
No,
with the
no, you said lucky.
oh, I see. Yeah, well,
but she didn't say unlucky.
yes. I was
very lucky.
referring to the possible luck we've had with the sun on our back. We may be able to, do a little reconnaissance around the island before they notice us. But I think that anything, if we're not careful, they will spot us. That, like we've all heard, that tower can probably see anything happening within miles of all directions of that
It
island.
doesn't matter if they spot us if their weapons go right through us because we're like a ghost. Ooh.
I bet she's missing Slippy right now.
That is
You
true.
did have a long tongue.
But we may want to know what we're up against. It might be easy to get the ship into port, but what if they have 30, 40 men?
Aye. You bring up a good point, Sandra.
Is that all?
We have more than that.
I think regardless, a little reconnaissance would do us well, whether we decide to go all ghostly haunted ship or not.
Yeah. If I mess up the ritual, the ship would turn and we wouldn't, and we all fall into the ocean.
Okay, that was my next question. So we are supposed to turn, but it's possible that we don't.
Well, I've never tried the ritual before. I just recovered it from my databanks.
Why don't you do it when we're on land or we've got it keeled hold or something? You gotta try it out first, make sure it works.
It'll work if I do it right.
How do you know?
I know. I remember doing it a long time ago. Maybe.
Iguana will look at you and be like, "Can you do it on a dinghy first?" So we try it
I
on
could do it on a dinghy.
and then if it works on the dinghy, then it should work fine if we do it on the big boat.
Yeah.
maybe
see?
we shouldn't do it to the dog.
What?
Maybe we should put the dog
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
dinghy.
He said a dinghy. I thought he was talking.
Well,
about you.
I think we will obviously need more than one person than Gears on the boat with him, but
Now,
Lucky should
we
be
would
the
need
volunteer.
We would need to
Sure.
first make one of the prisoners a member of the crew and then cut his throat and then bring him back as a undead. But
I will-
that's the only real hiccup.
I will grab a volunteer.
This ritual gets more complex as you keep mentioning the parts we need.
How many crew are we supposed to lose here as part of your ritual?
I just need one. We just need one undead crew member.
Volunteer.
And so the
Something-
cat says kill the cat, and then we'll make him the undead.
But
You
we'd have to
see-
kill him 9 times. He's a cat.
You see
Ah.
the dinghy.
You don't think that maybe that's just a bit of a convenient loophole where it's you go down, you grab a prisoner, and you say you're part of the crew now. Slash.
No. If he's part of the crew, he's part of the crew.
I heard
Right?
that's what makes you part of the crew. Because we
Yeah,
weren't
they're not
originally
like-
part of the crew. They just said you're part of the crew now.
Yeah, we didn't sign any paperwork or anything. There was no
I
secret
know.
handshake.
I am not an officer, but I know a little bit about magic. I prefer the stealthy approach myself.
Captain, let's make a secret handshake and then we teach it to the prisoner. He really becomes crew because he knows the handshake, and then we kill him.
I got the perfect handshake. First you go
Yarr.
like this, and then you go like this, and then you go, and then
he'd be part of the crew.
yes,
No arguments
perfect,
there.
perfect
He knows the
handshake.
handshake.
I'm starting to think the frog was the smart one.
Jupiter Iguana kind of leans into you and goes, "Do you think there will be any butt sniffing involved if this man is making the handshake? Because I will be not part of the crew if it's involved."
This dog would probably like to sniff a butt or two, yes.
There's nothing wrong with sniffing butts, but
I'm
it
just
is not
throwing
part
some
of the
ideas
handshake.
out there, Captain. You make the final decision.
You know my name. You don't need to sniff my butt. That's final. There'll be no butt sniffing on my crew.
And I can
I've
smell
already
most
had your
of the
peg
crew from here. I wouldn't want to get any closer than necessary.
I don't have a butt.
You've got a point, Montoya.
I've got my tongue stuck in something else.
That's
Well-
a porthole, sir. That's not a butt.
I'll tell you what. We can accomplish. Let's see. I would say we could accomplish two things at once, but we don't want to split the crew. I'm all in favor of reconnaissance, and I'm in favor of you taking one of the more hard to get along with prisoners and making him part of the crew if you're gonna, slash his throat.
It'll take a full day to try to bring him back as a undead member of the crew.
Well, do we have time?
If we're sitting out in the water like this for a full day, they're gonna see us.
Well,
Now, I don't think
make
they're
the rules.
going to act. And Smitty comes up and goes, "Well, I didn't see any masts or anything in the little channel there, so the best guess is they either have a ship hidden somewhere that we can't see, or there's not a ship on the island at the moment." Can I have everybody roll a sailing lore check? Also, while they do that, any background music here, because I always forget to do this at the beginning. But I haven't touched anything. But I guess technically before I play the music. Provided by Sirenscape. Thank you very much, Sirenscape. Great sound effects in the Foundry thing here. Yeah, so as long as I tell you where we are getting the music from.
Son of a
That is-
bitch.
Oh,
I do think the handshake was a solid idea, though.
I
Just
apologize
saying.
for everybody's ears.
I must.
Old
Hopefully, I don't die here.
We're all going to die.
eyes, dead eyes, like a doll's eye. You don't know it's even living till it bites down and those eyes roll back.
All right, what check?
Sailing lore.
All right, sorry, I couldn't get my
Named it JJ.
thing opened.
How do I have the highest sailing lore?
You're the captain.
It's not
Oh,
that you
it's
have the highest
intelligent.
sailing. Oh, you do have the highest.
You have the
sailing.
highest intelligence, sir. You get the
Oh.
biggest plus.
Makes sense. I'm a fart smeller. I mean, smart feller.
Make that rail gun for our ship already, then. Jeez.
I'm
Yeah,
working
yeah.
on it. Takes patience. Fresh out of rails.
Did he just say you're an idiot?
We
Yeah,
could
let's-
use spoons.
All right, let's see.
I
So
have spoons.
Gears and Captain Cokenstache, as you guys are kind of talking about the island and kind of coming up with a plan, you guys do remember something. Maybe it was Port Peril, maybe it's one of the other ports that you hang out at from time to time. But it didn't connect right away until... Okay. Sirenscape, being buggy as hell. Might not work.
I heard there's a hatch on that island.
I hear it.
Yep, nope. I'm turning Sirenscape off. It's robot as hell on my end. Okay, sorry about that,
Crossing the
folks.
streams.
Yeah, no fun. You guys remember back on the Wormwood, somebody mentioning that they overheard Captain Harrigan talking about a friend of his, well, a former associate, or maybe it was somebody he double-crossed, some sort of pirate he at one point had some dealings with. Good lord, it's all scattered all over. here. And that gentleman held one of the most single important fortresses in the Shackles. Now, the reason you remember it is the Windward Isle is what he didn't call it Tidewater Rock. He called it Windward Isle. Look at your map. You look at the charts and everything. That's the name of this island. And you remember that pirate that he had dealings with commanded about 3 or 4 ships. The rumor was that he assembled a handful of other pirates to deal with, again, rumors, Chilaxian fleet, a bunch of other, some big pirate dispute where he maybe brought his friends along, something like that. And supposedly, Captain Harrigan may have been the only one to survive.
Interesting.
So, whoever is left this island, however long ago that was, probably doesn't have a lot of resources at the moment.
It's possible we may come in there and find all kinds of hollowed out corpses. But I doubt it.
That's more zombies I could make at least.
Schmitty,
Shake
give me
your
my
head, cat.
give me my hourglass. Right, eyeglass, my spyglass. Damn it.
You trying to tell time, Captain?
Yes.
I look back at the fort and I want to see. Can I see what colors they are flying, or if there are flying colors?
You don't see any flags.
Real bastards that don't fly colors in their fort. Probably inhabited by brigands and thieves.
Shall we take it, Captain?
Aren't we brigands and thieves, Captain?
We are. But we're of a much finer breed.
Yeah, we're nautical.
Yeah, I'm a golden. What is my
Dinghy.
shoey? I'm a golden shoey.
We merely break goods from those who do not deserve them. Nothing more.
Yes, steal from the rich to give to the poor, so to speak.
We
And
are very poor.
We
indeed.
are the poor. So we keeps it for ourselves. I say we see what sort of intelligence we can gather.
Ooh, let's send the dog. He's very intelligent.
Thank you.
I can swim up as a shark and get on shore unseen.
He believed me. See?
Gears. That sounds like a great idea. Much better idea than the ghost ship thing. At least until I know
Well,
what
I
that
disagree with you on that one, Captain. The ghost ship idea is pretty good.
I mean,
Wait,
it
what?
sounds cool, but I've not seen it done.
What was the new plan from the necromancer robot, goblin, whatever he is?
He's gonna turn into a shark and swim.
It's the first mate.
I'm like a fancy knife. I have a lot of functions.
It's a Chilaxian army knife.
Exactly. I will turn into a shark and I'll swim up the shore, and then I'll be real stealthy like and get some info.
Okay.
Then I can swim back.
I mean, I guess it's a safe assumption that any rowboats, even if we go say to like the western or eastern side of the island, will probably be seen.
Yes, from what you can tell, Tidewater Rock sits at the fortress sits at the highest part of the island.
Okay.
So
And we don't know there's any part of like the island that has like a cliff covering it.
not that you can tell from here. It all looks like beaches, except for maybe at the end of the bay harbor. And I bring
Okay.
you to this map because, through the course of the evening, yeah, you guys can all see the nice map that I made, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Indeed.
I don't know
Alright.
why, but looking at that village there reminds me of the Suicide Squad when they killed the village of people that were actually on their side. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening here for some reason.
Well, Gears, you turn into a shark and venture out. And do you pretty much head straight towards the channel right away? Or, this is kind of what you see as you approach. This is all this kind of slightly lighter area. As you approach a shore, you can tell that a lot of it's like shale and gravel rock. Not really beach. It is, from everything you can tell as you get closer, a very dirt, not a lot of grass, not a great ground for any major growing crop, but it does have kind of these plateaus on the island, and you can see what looks to be maybe a couple houses and maybe some crops and things like that on kind of this eastern side, with the fortress kind of being at the top of this other plateau, and then the rest of the island again kind of on a lower
So, what
level.
all intel would y'all have told Gears to get?
Where the hose at?
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Probably entrances, visible personnel, armaments, if possible.
Secret entrances.
I don't know how to see. Well, all right. I'll look for a place where we could get the ship if we needed to. Look for everything else they described. I might have to get up on shore and be a little sneaky.
Yeah,
What is my stealth?
go ahead and just roll me a stealth check.
Not
This will kind of
terrible.
cover the evening. $19.
I will spend a doubloon. Think I can do better.
Don't get a 1.
One more doubloon.
Mm,
Oh
Oh
no!
no.
That's 2 doubloons. How many do I have? I think I have 3 total. I do have 3. So my last doubloon.
does that include the one you got for today?
Yes, it does. Is 19 going to be my best roll? We're going to find out.
Might be.
That was
Yep.
on a y'all saw it was
That's
on
right.
a 20. It robbed me. 19 it is.
With a 19, the one thing you do notice is there's not a lot of activity pretty much anywhere on the island other than the fortress and maybe that little village-ish area that you see. You think you see a couple torchlights or something like that way up on that plateau. And then you can definitely tell that like the top of the tower has some torches and stuff lit. But for the most part, you don't notice any other activity. So you feel like unless you do something very obvious, probably won't be noticed. And at this point, here, I'll put you on the map. That way you can kind of guide.
Gears is not made for reconnaissance. Here we go.
Where you want to go from here. And again, like I said, obviously this isn't a foot by foot scale, but as you venture forth, kind of see what's everything. Make me a perception check though, as you kind of are entering this little channel.
Percepciones.
One thing you notice, you have been on a boat long enough to know that when you're on the shore, a lot of this shale and this kind of rocky beach seems to almost have layers to it. Like the difference between low tide and high tide is very great here. And right now, I'm assuming you probably went in the middle of the night. You're not quite at the highest tide, but from what you can tell, that during the low tide, you probably could have been walking a little bit sooner, and during high tide, you think that it might even, I don't know how close you want to get to the fortress. That
I try to get as close as I can.
okay, yeah, you should be able to move your
Like
token.
a beach onion.
But
I just
almost
tried and acting
almost
crazy.
kind of like you
There
can
we go.
see with this icon, right, where that first little ramp up to the initial doorway could almost be completely flooded. Like the first floor of the tower could maybe be flooded if needed. Just
Like a
based
See any
on
people
just
walking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say just based on kind of the lines and like the water lines that you can see from here. Up top, you do
Gotcha.
see some shadows. You know, this from where you're standing at the base of it all the way to the top, it's probably almost 100 feet, the top of that tower.
All right. Do I see cannons or any kind of weaponry
You do see
along the
some
walls?
cannons sticking out of the edges. You again, it's too tall for you to see what else is on there, but you at least see two. I'll say two cannons. You think you may have seen the shadow or the outline of maybe a catapult as well.
Make my way over here then.
Yeah, you kind of set foot and do a little bit of a hike over to this village, and it just looks like it is rudimentary crops. Potatoes, carrots. It looks like it is more root vegetable than anything else. Maybe there's one little half field of corn or something like that. You see, you know, a little bit higher on the plateau that there's a very small herd of sheep, possibly. You hear them kind of bang. And around here, you. What the heck?
Did that cat step on the beat button?
Oh,
think
the
it did.
Jupiter
So
stepped
funny.
on the button.
Uh,
I'm so
It's like,
tempted
who
to
cursed?
burn their crops.
Ow!
you
You go-
maybe think there's a handful, maybe a dozen people in this little area, but no more than that.
All right. Anything else I need to get intelligence-wise before I come back? My crew that I might have forgot. No.
Hmm?
No. All right.
Ooh.
Make my way back to the shore and back to the ship.
All right, and I'll say by the time you get back to ship, the sun is rising. You know, you probably took 5 or 6 hours to kind of do your stealthy reconnaissance, and everything that I've told you, you can inform the party of.
I'm going to sleep for the night.
I tell them everything I've seen. The cannons, the catapults, the people, the farms, the flooding of the first section of the tower, the tide, high and low, all the good stuff.
DF, oh, it's too early. I
You
can't
drank
believe
too
it.
much rum, Captain. Now's not the time.
How dare ye be insulting me rum drinking? Although admittedly you're right.
It's a first officer's job to keep you in check at all times, Captain.
Hmm.
So you say that they might be able to flood the first floor.
I think it floods when the tide comes in, Captain.
So it's not an active thing. So far as you can tell.
As far as I could tell, I just think they built it on the water, and when the tide comes in, it floods on the bottom. Maybe they keep pet sharks. I don't know.
Perhaps that means we might be able to enter through the second floor if we go in high tide.
I really wanted to burn their crops, but I figured that might give away that there's someone on the island, so I didn't.
Why don't you summon some of your ghosts to do it for you?
I can't make ghosts. That's just silly.
You can make a ghost ship, but you can't make ghosts.
Yeah, the ghost ship turns the crew into ghosts. But I can't just make ghosts. What am I, a necromancer?
Well, I mean,
I can make a skeleton or a zombie. Maybe.
That's
not
pretty
a ghost.
necromantic.
Nah, it's just a ritual I picked up from some dude in a bar, I think, if
Mm.
my memory's right, years ago.
Was it actually a dude in a bar?
He
Or
might have
was
been
it
a
a
girl.
necromancer?
Might have been a girl dressed as a dude.
Oh, it might have been a lich, huh?
These days you never know.
I don't know. You're confusing me.
I'm sorry,
Alright,
first
well,
I got all these memories. I don't know what any of them mean half the time.
Are they
Captain
of yours or
Wilhelm,
someone
what
else's?
what is the
I
plan
think
of
so.
approach?
When I was a goblin, not a machine.
Well, it seems to me that if there were personnel in their fortress, perhaps they'd be drawn out to the village should their crops actually catch fire.
So I should have burned. I knew I should have burned them.
Well, no, because we weren't ready yet.
That's why you're the captain.
Hmm.
We should practice the handshake gears.
Captain.
I like
If we can draw out the main occupying force of the fortress to the crop fields over here, perhaps we can take a strategic advantage and have a have a fort to defend rather than to take. What
Sounds
say
like
you?
a plan to me, Captain.
I'm ready, Captain. Even without a ghost ship, I'm ready.
I need volunteers.
Well, if we burn the crops, that will be hard if we take over the fort to sustain here, but I'm okay with that because you're the captain, and I will do it if you ask me to.
Hmm.
I want to look at something really quick.
I can stealth over to the crops and set them ablaze without anyone noticing if the dog stays here.
They have sheep over there too. You might get you a snack.
What about Iguana? Iguana, how are you at being all incognito, as they say?
I can be as silent as a mouse if
Hmm. All right. Jupiter volunteers. Iguana, I'm also sending you along with Jupiter. So that way he's got some backup.
of course.
What say you, Jupiter?
Yeah, sure, as long as he watches my back. I trust him.
As long as if any of these people on this island have 7 toes on their left foot, I get the killing blow.
Of course. I will
We'll
need
bring
a
the rest of
torch.
them.
I
We'll
think I
bring them
have
all to the edge of death, and you can finish them off.
It's fine. I have a few things to say before he meets Pharasma.
And remember, if any of the crew dies, save the bodies.
All right.
You know, we are the only crew going there, you know?
Some of us might die.
So if Jupiter dies, save the body.
If going back to our conversation last night, if we give them the secret handshake before they die, do they become part of the crew? Because if we leave them right on death's door and teach them the handshake, and then they are part of the crew, and then they die from natural causes, would they be considered crew for your ritual?
If only the crew knows the handshake and they die knowing the handshake, by default, that would make them part of the crew.
Yes.
I mean,
crew member.
my logic is pretty sound, I think.
You know, if you bring me back from the dead as a zombie, I'm going to bite the shit out of you.
No, if I do it right, I'll control you like you're a little puppet. It'll be fine.
Yes,
Yes,
I will
but-
bite the shit out of you.
But before you leave, the
I
handshake
made of
is
metal. It's okay.
this.
Okay.
I didn't catch that.
I wasn't
It's-
paying attention.
It's this.
Everyone, take
This-
a moment. We're learning the handshake.
This. You put your paw in the yes. There you go, Captain. Now up with the paw, and then clap, clap. Yes. Good job.
I don't
Captain.
get it.
Clap, clap. Got it.
Maybe
That
we
is-
make it a little easier.
It's only 4 moves.
It's,
It's this, clap, clap.
it is fine.
Okay, that's easy enough.
If I
Yeah.
think I can, I think I can pull off this plan. I will. If not, I will just kill them. But I will try.
It's not
Whatever-
that big of a deal, to be honest. I just need one undead crew member. It'll be
Whatever,
fine.
whatever ruckus you can cause. That's the main thing. There will probably be plenty of dead ones.
I will burn this place to the ground.
Oh, here, you might need this.
And I will hand Jupiter a vial of alchemist fire.
Ah, beautiful. What do you say about the buildings? You just want the crops to burn, or maybe burn it all?
Might be
Mm.
pretty girls in the building.
You are a robot.
I'm fully
Burn-
functional.
You're
burning
definitely
the
going to want to
pretty
save
woman.
the women. You're going to want to save them. Just saying.
I say maybe we start with the crops and see if we can rustle some feathers, so to speak, and if that does not seem to do the trick, we then maybe make our presence more permanent.
Fine. We will Brussels some sprouts.
I'm not familiar with that phrase.
Me neither.
Learning is fundamental.
Aren't they like miniature cabbages?
Yes, and if you boil and roast them, they taste lots of butter. Excellent.
Balsamic vinegar. Very nice.
Oh, yes.
What I say,
I like this guy.
Well, may
I say. Oh, go ahead.
Who-
Sorry.
well,
Sorry, I wanna.
Oh, Captain, I apologize. I was going to say, while we still maybe have some early light, get this underway. Just going to be the two of us, or is anybody else going to come along?
The less people with us, the less cause for failure.
I can set things on fire with my eyes.
A valuable asset.
It's a
But
cool
can you
trick.
sneak?
Yeah.
On land? Stealth team, what say you? I'll leave it up to you.
I
Two is
will.
fine.
Okay.
We might need you. If there's a contingent force that stays behind on the fort, then we might need you there, Gears.
Well, Gears, you
Aye, aye,
can
Captain.
turn into a fish. Why don't you maybe hang out on the shore? And he kind of reaches his pocket, goes, I have this, and it will make it doesn't really do much, but it'll make the fire glow a crazy blue color. If I set this ablaze, get to the ship, help us, I guess. This would be the SOS.
What say you, Captain? Good idea? I think so.
Fantastic idea.
Right. Then
Very well.
shall we head out then, Blackblade?
Let's do it.
Right.
And from this distance, can we judge about how long it might take to sail in?
The ship probably about an hour, just because you're not really gonna have the mass up. You know what I mean? You're gonna be going real slow.
And the
With
wind.
with the dinghy, they can probably oar to the shore half that time. But with your big boat and being very careful, it'd probably take you better part of an hour to get into the harbor there. But I will take
Well-
stealth checks from the stealth team.
Guess that includes the fish.
I will roll a baboon.
Ooh,
Metal shark.
There we
nice.
go. Much better.
Good thing I'm in the water.
All right.
I'm just a fish. I'm just a fish. I'm just a fish.
I'm practically a god.
All right.
There's a moth in here. It's driving me nuts.
And Wilhelm, what is the Mischief's Maiden doing?
Well, Lucky, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we sail the Mischief's Maiden straight up to the fortress and make sure we've got the catapult and one of her guns aimed right at her.
All right, Captain.
Oh,
I
did
will
you,
start-
Gears? Did you mention what kind of weapons the fortress had on it?
I believe it had cannons and possibly a catapult, I believe, right?
A lot.
I counted maybe 3 cannons and possibly 1 catapult, but I could not see fully. It was very high.
I take that back. We're not going to risk the ship.
All right, Captain. I will stop getting ready to drive it right into the.
Said we're gonna load. We're gonna load up as many able-bodied men and women.
Looks over at Sandra.
Onto these here dinghies, and we're gonna sail in quiet. Or row in quiet. The nomenclature is still. I'm getting used to it.
So, all right, stealth team is moving into the we'll call it the village, while the Mischief Maiden maybe are you at least parking it at the beginning of the harbor, because it's about This channel is about a half a mile. You know, it's going to be way out of any catapult
Sure.
or
Okay.
cannon
Yeah,
range.
whatever. We'll get as close as we can without being within cannon or catapult range.
Okay. And then load up a couple dinghies and start pouring in that
You
way,
got
so
it.
to speak. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just going to use the Mischief Maiden's token just as ease of people. So as you guys land and make your move in with Iguana there, the Mischief's Maiden crew is starting to dinghy out. I will take Lucky and Wilhelm if you guys will roll me perception checks. And Jupiter, I don't need any perception checks of kind of what's going on. It is, you can see
Put
a
people in there.
handful of people as you kind of are starting to kind of come up this little hillock plateau thing. There's a couple people working the fields. You know, they're pulling carrots and root vegetables. There's a guy herding the sheep around. It very much gives off the vibe of just a small little farm. And you probably see 5 or 6 people. You see a small little cart pulled by what looks to be maybe a donkey. They seem to be loading stuff on. Obviously, probably going to bring it back to the fort.
How tall is the grass?
It's for you. It's probably just under your waist, kind of like mid thigh, maybe. Enough
I
for
can
you.
bend down
your-
and hide.
Yeah, enough for your approach to be rather covered.
Are there any trees?
No, there's really
Just
no
open
cover.
fields.
There's
Okay.
some rocks. You know, the ground here is very shale and rocky and dirt. And
Well,
you
I
know,
am very
there's-
stealth.
Can you
I
like
am
stealth on all
super
fours like an
stealth.
actual cat?
I'm a cat.
So you are a cat. You're not cat-like. You are a cat.
I am a cat. Folk.
Meow meow, kitty. You're gonna spend the night outside.
Now- If I use alchemist fire and I throw it in the middle, will it
Mhm.
set all of the things on fire?
It'll start a fire and then it'll take a little bit of time to grow, but it will set some stuff on fire for sure.
What if I throw it between the two things? I want to burn the fields.
Yeah, and no matter where you decide to throw it, the alchemist fire will start the fire, but again, it would be, you know, it's like throwing a Molotov cocktail. It's not gonna, you know, it'll take a couple minutes for it to spread that quickly.
Right, but I want the biggest amount of smoke possible to cover my escape.
You know what? I'll have you roll something
You
just to
have-
kind of see how effective
You
you
have
are on that.
nature's camouflage. You're good.
Trying to figure the best method of success.
Roll
Just take your
me-
clothes off and start meowing.
Yeah.
We walk up on all fours.
Give them the big kitty eyes and hold your hat. You know.
And
Roll me
boots.
a survival.
Okay,
Blade.
In boots. Oh God.
son of a bitch.
You roll like a girl.
Are you out of
Um,
doubloons?
I don't want to waste my last doubloon on a
Yeah.
Fair
survivor.
enough.
Well, don't worry. It's not like if you fail, it's not going to happen. You think as you're coming in, you see a really good spot to like set this thing off, but as you approach it, it wasn't quite, you know, as great as you thought, and you sort of have to act now or you're going to be caught. Kind of. So,
I throw it into the fields.
all right, you throw it into the fields, and yeah, you see it. You know, maybe it's some wheat or some dried up corn, and you know, within a couple minutes, you know, the fire is spreading pretty quickly.
How
know.
high is this ledge?
It's a good at the highest point right around the village, probably a 20 to 30-foot drop.
Okay, I retreat to here to look over the edge where it is lower, but I can still hide.
Yeah, so you kind of find an area that is, you know, maybe a foot or two above your head, and you can
Mhm.
kind of maybe with Iguana's help, kind of watch what's happening. And the fire is growing. There's a couple people who are starting to take notice, and they're trying to take preventative actions. It is just moving a little bit slower than you had wanted. You did pick a, like a dried cornfield, so it is, you don't think 2 people are going to be able to put out this fire kind of thing. But it's just not quite growing as quickly as you want.
Is there anyone that could strike stealthily without the other one seeing me, in my opinion?
You could try, but you think that if you do not do enough damage in one hit, they're definitely going to know you're here. But we are going to jump over to the rest of the crew, kind of oaring in. Roughly how many people did you want to take with you, Captain?
Me and Lucky, quite obviously. I think Owlbear and Sandra.
Okay.
I think we'll all come with us.
Perfect. So you are on a diggy, kind of rowing in, and you could quickly, right about there where the token is, you're probably 500 feet from this kind of staircase that looks like it leads up to the front door of the fort. You can see commotion happening up, and you can make out at least 3 people looking down into the harbor at you, and you can kind of tell that they are doing something. What exactly, you're unsure, but they haven't fired a cannon at you or anything else quite yet.
Can we see the smoke from the fire coming up on the island yet?
If you guys timed everything well, they should be lighting their fire right about now.
Okay.
I guess I'll give you a perception check to see if you notice the startings of some smoke trails.
Okay. Basically, my whole idea is to attempt to. I wanted to draw at least a portion of their forces out to maybe hopefully deal with the fire. So basically, as soon as I can see that there may be some people headed that way, if that's possible to see.
Well, knowing that is what you're looking for, with your 16, the biggest thing you notice is that the only door that you see, or the only way out of the fort, is that front one that you're looking at. It's kind of this long, wide staircase. It could almost be a ramp if it wasn't, niched to have stairs in it. But that looks to be the only entrance and exit out of the fort. And you can tell, kind of like Gears had said, right now, your guys' approach is right after high tide, so the water is back, and around the ground here is just wet, sopping dirt, and it goes out probably about 30 feet from that staircase, and that is, you think, where the water sits at low tide, so that, if they are bringing whatever in from wherever, they can do it now. It's probably the best time to do it. And you see,
Does that mean where?
like one little rowboat off to the side, kind of thing. But that's the only vehicle that you see at the moment. Lucky, and you do see a small black smoke trail of off in that direction.
Captain, the fire has been lit.
I say we
calls for aid.
Hold. We need to see if they're gonna do anything about it.
And there's a little rowboat there.
Yeah. I think we hold until we see that they attempt to attend to it.
Okay. How long are you gonna pretty much stay as long as needed?
We might get ambushed if we stay here, Captain.
I say we Give it 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 minutes goes by, and Blackblade, the fire is starting to grow. It has now jumped over to what looks to be, some sort of root vegetable patch. Again, it's just you just slightly, maybe it was those guys were getting too close, and you sort of, I want to say, probably panic set that thing off. You didn't quite put it in the most optimal spot. Fire is growing. The two people working on it can't quite seem to get it contained. You think that this isn't, for you, the advantage was that this place does not have great soil.
Is there a lot of smoke?
It is starting to build pretty. It looks like a good bonfire at the moment. So you think anybody from the tower, or they could probably see it back at the ship as well.
I shall put on my silencer and sneak attack someone when they are farther away from the other person trying to put out the fire.
Okay, I'm
Kill
going
them.
to just put a pirate out there so you have something to target with your attack.
Here.
But I'm gonna drop his AC a bit. Hold on. So you got a pirate AC.
I don't know how to do a sneak attack.
So let's read Sneak Attack for second edition because I never quit. Off guard. So you're looking at surprise attack. You
Yes,
spring into
I
combat
am.
faster than foes can react on the first round of combat. If you roll deception or stealth for initiative, creatures that haven't acted are off guard. So I will just put this guy as off guard. Mostly just because I don't want to start a whole. That's not what I whole encounter just for. And Iguana is pretty much there in case you can't do something and you get noticed. He will then.
Right, he's the
you.
backup killer.
Exactly. So yeah, he is off guard to you. Go ahead and roll your attack and everything, and then you will get your sneak attack.
Son of a bitch!
You hit.
But you
Okay.
did hit still because of off guard. I mean, it's just a farmer in cloth.
Mm. It was a farmer in cloth.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it still is.
I know it's gonna say barely injured on the token, but this, farmer looks relatively hurt, and does let out a cry of monster. And you see the few others start to notice, and
Oh, I was not
There's-
finished.
okay, yeah. After that, again, nice.
There we
There you go. Well, maybe he doesn't scream.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's gonna. Your first shot goes off, and they turn, and their eyes go wide as now they're seeing a monster here, and you get him square between the eyes on that second shot, and they fall to the ground. Roll me another stealth, would you?
I like a distance. Where is Gilly? What do you want from me? Go away, baby.
Okay.
Come
You
on.
seem to kind of
The worst
fade
goal.
back to the cliff, as now chaos seems to have erupted since the fire is now picking up, and this other person comes over and thinking that this person may have died due to whatever fire issues are happening. There is
Smoke
some
inhalation.
Yeah, there is now some panic happening there, and you can
Is it
hear them
going?
shouting to go inform the fort and to get some of the men out here to protect the buildings. The crops could be re-sowed, but the buildings we don't have the supplies to rebuild. And you can see a couple guys take off running towards the fort. Back at the other thing, 10 minutes go by, and you can now see a nice black plume of smoke rising from the direction of that little village on the plateau.
Village.
After the flames getting big.
And still no one has left the fortress.
You can see more things kind of happening at the the top layer or the roof, the top of the fort. It looks like, from what you can tell, at least one cannon has been aimed at you, and you see a couple other siege weapons. You're not. Maybe another cannon. Maybe it's a ballista. It was nighttime, but the one aiming at you is a cannon for sure. But the ones on like the other sides, you can see them, but you just can't quite, from this distance and that height, you can't quite make them out.
Lucky, change of plans.
Aye, aye, Captain. Abandon them.
No. Damn it, Lucky. No.
But the cat's really mean.
A little bit. He's a bit catty. But no. I say
Pick
we
up the
meet them
first mate
afield.
and iguana. All right. So swing around. Can I turn the ship around?
We make for the I can speak. We make for the farm. It seems as though they are holding tight to their position. We're not going to be able to get close to the fort without taking a couple shots.
Aye, aye,
We don't
Captain.
stand a chance against a cannonball in a little dinghy.
I'll swing
That's what
around.
she said.
All
Alright,
right.
so I'm going to sail the ship around. Why does it work?
You guys are gonna go join the rest of the crew at the little village.
Yep. I do believe so.
Let's see. Uh,
As I see the ship going by, I'd swim with it.
Yeah, I'm Gears. You're probably seeing them, turn towards the shore, so you can join them if needed.
What are you
You
doing?
should.
I'm trying to figure out how to do the thing.
You hold it and push space.
I'm eating
Oh,
some
wait, no, wait.
8-layer chocolate cake my wife made.
Son of a.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good.
That's really good.
Well, they have alchemist fire, so there's some oil involved or some grease or whatever. So,
Oh, we're not moving the ship? Okay.
you're not on the big ship. You guys are on a dinghy. I just use that as token placement.
Oh,
So you guys nestle up your little dinghy to the shore, get off it. So you have your tokens there. If you do that, they will fire one shot.
Are we still within range?
Unless you back up a little bit, they might try to fire at least one.
Oh, I would definitely want to try to stay away from cannon fire for sure.
Then they will shoot a catapult. But it's gonna be
You dirty bastard.
a pretty high negative.
Oh, you get far away for that, huh? Okay, I'll switch.
Well, they would know.
I'll press Y to switch weapons. All right, now.
I do a cartwheel.
And no, it actually, even though maybe they anticipated, your trajectory a little wrong, couldn't get the catapult quite turned fast enough, but it just kaplunks behind you in the water.
I stand below the rock, just like Gothmog in the Return of the King.
And you get a little splash as it lands in the water.
Yet again, I flip both birds. Lucky,
Aye, aye, Captain.
let's make our way to the farm.
Right.
I'm here, Captain. As I hop up out of the water.
Ah, damn it, Gears, you scared me.
Gears,
I
I'm very
think-
stealthy.
Gears, Lucky, and Wilhelm, make me perception checks, please.
God damn, that cake was so good. Oh my goodness.
Why don't you marry it if you love it so much?
I did. I married the person
Hey,
that made it.
Mine just got hit to a 15. I think it should count.
He married the cake maker.
I married the maker,
Uh,
baby.
All right, Blackblade, the two people kind of take off back towards Tidewater Rock Fortress, and the other three that are left, one is dragging this very dead person's body out of the way, and the other two are now really trying to put out the fire.
Do I feel anyone is opportune to assassinate?
Roll me. I'll have you roll me a stealth check. This is kind of your expertise in this matter roll, so to speak.
Oh, and we're Albert and Sandra still
What
in
the
the
fuck?
dinghy
It
with us?
went to threes. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
they're
use
with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my let's try that again.
Okay.
Which is a free Dubloon, basically. Oh, come the fuck on.
You think that you kind of got lucky with that first person. You know, the other person was like, "Let me go get a water bucket or something else," and they stayed there. Now that they know, they're a little bit more panicked, you think they're gonna pretty much stay grouped together, or at least within sight of each other, since they have just lost somebody by accident.
Okay. What do you think, Iguana? Should we take them out or what?
Well, I know that. Well, I think those two headed to the fort are probably the important ones, but I know the captain wanted a distraction, so I think we let this play out. I think if we think they are going to put the fire out, we intervene. But I think we just wait.
It seems like a reasonable plan. Fine, I shall wait. My bloodletting will be denied for now.
Jupiter, can you make me a perception check?
I can indeed.
No.
Perception. Oh, I'm very perceptive.
You notice
Ooh.
about 5 minutes later, kind of trudging up the plateau from where you guys came up, is some of your crew, the Captain, Lucky, and Gears, followed in tail by Sandra and Owlbear, kind of trudging along.
I do not believe that was the plan, but okay.
And you notice with a 29 that a flag raises at the top of the tower, and the remainder of the people here look up at the tower, kind of shout at each other, go and get the body of the one you killed, and start to the opposite side. Over here, looks like probably the shorter path to the fortress, start to head back to the fortress.
Okay. Well, I will wait for the cap.
Yeah, a couple minutes later, I don't know if are you going to kind of make yourself known to the captain, or do you want to see if they can find you themselves?
Oh yeah, I'll wave him down or whatever.
Right.
Try not to get the attention of anyone else.
Yeah, you can see the crops are well lit at this point, Captain Wilhelm, and you can see kind of off a little crag on the side here is Jupiter and Iguana sort of got themselves in a nice stealthy position.
Say, ahoy! Unfortunately, the inhabitants of that fort are, well, they're holding their ground. Didn't quite react the way that I thought they would.
Yes, well, the rest of them have just run to the fort as well, except for the ones I killed.
Wait, is it daytime? It's daytime, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's morning, yeah.
Oh shoot! I thought we were doing this at night.
I thought we were doing it at night too.
Oh, did you guys want to do it at night? I mean, not.
I sure shit didn't want to stealth
I
in
mean,
the
we've
day.
already been doing it for 45 minutes during the day.
There's a magical eclipse. It's dark.
Gears, you can do that, right? Cause an eclipse, and it's
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking, though? If we had a
Okay.
ghost ship, we could have went right into the.
It's
through
a
the wall of
ghost
the building.
eclipse. I have to kill the moon and raise it from the dead. Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
Necromancer.
I'm not a
Well, what-
necromancer. I just know a few tricks.
Well, good work on the crops there. It seems as though you did your job. Unfortunately, they didn't react the way that we had hoped.
Mm,
Hmm. What of the villagers?
like I said, other than the ones I killed, the rest ran towards the building, the fort.
What? Where are they at? Can we cut them off?
Can we cut them off?
That was 15 minutes ago, Captain.
Yeah, you don't think you're going to be able to cut them off, but as you kind of turn around to the fort now, Captain Wilhelm, you see a flag is raised, and it is a red flag, probably to signify danger of some
Soccer.
kind.
Just what we needed.
What would you
Well, I
guys
was,
like to do?
I did
Cause
not
the
want to
danger.
give away our position as we were the distraction.
I look to the captain for guidance.
They still don't know that you're here.
No.
However, they know that we're here.
Yes.
So we've made our presence known. I say, the village is ours now.
This is true.
If they
Unless
want it
they-
back, they'll have to take it.
Well, they could launch a catapult at the village, could they not?
Is the catapult within range?
You don't
How much
think
food
so? You know,
could they
give me
possibly
a
have in there?
Well,
Wilhelm.
if it
Give
can't
me-
reach the boat, it ain't reaching the village.
Give me a craft check, Wilhelm.
We could starve them out, Captain. some dead
With
bodies
that
over the
crafting
walls?
check, just based on what you've seen, you have a suspicion that the catapult probably only really can shoot into the harbor. It would be pretty advanced if they had something that they could, turn the catapult like that, because it's not the widest of roofs from you can tell. So that catapult is probably a small one, and you don't think that whoever built it thought about allowing it to be 360 coverage.
I looked down and I kicked some of the shell out from under my boot and I said,
Well, it seems as though they're gonna be starved out anyway, especially with us blocking the harbor. They're not gonna be getting any shipments in. They're gonna want this village back, and they're gonna have to take us. Now, Iguana and Jupiter, I suggest perhaps you maintain your hidden advantage.
All right.
The rest of
Aye,
us are already
Captain.
known, so we'll make sure that they know that the village is ours now.
I'll wave at him, Captain.
Well, don't be friendly. Damn it, Lucky.
Just don't teach him the handshake.
Is it mean I point out the truth, or is it he just stupid? I don't know.
He's
No, I'm
dumb, but he
waving.
heals good.
I'm waving to be a distraction. Over here.
Wherever you think might be the best vantage point or best place for you all to hide, I'll leave that up to your judgment. You're the experts in subterfuge.
I can hide here for now. I will keep
You
an eye
know,
from here. If someone
we-
needs to be killed, we will kill them.
We could take a ghost dinghy through the walls.
Oh, for
Just
Christ's
saying.
It might come to that, but it seems as though they've raised a hostile flag.
is there would I know, is that a pretty universal flag? It says red flag. Are they about to attack, or is that they are under attack? Or
Yeah, you think that's more of they are under attack, and it is probably calling the villagers from the village back to the
Run!
Yeah.
I thought that was the first flag that got raised. Was there a second flag that got
What was
raised?
the
No,
first
they
one?
only raised the
only
red
one
flag.
flag.
There has not been a
Oh.
single flag yet. Also with your 28 crafting, as you're kind of inspecting, thinking about, oh, maybe they have a catapult that can turn. You're unsure of, is it a good sized tower? The tower itself is 5 stories. It's on this plateau, sits about 100 feet to the top. If you were at the base with the plateau and everything and looking out, you're not quite sure how many people are in there. You guys have seen probably about a dozen, at least, between all of you kind of keeping eyes on things. If they have been hoarding food, it's going to be close to what you have, on the ship as well. If you're going to try to starve them
That's a
out.
lot of attrition.
There's got to be a way to get in there, Captain.
Well,
Make a ghost thing. Stay all right in.
What do you say we wait them out a couple of days, see if they do anything?
I got nothing better to do.
There might be people coming, Captain. Can't just sit in one spot for 3 days.
Well, if we're gonna sit for a day or two, I can go ahead and try to at least make an undead crew member, so we have one if we need it. Because it only takes an hour to do the ghost ritual. for the ship.
I'm going to look around the town before it burns down, I think.
Yes. All right. Gather what you can.
I go to loot the town.
I will join.
Yeah, so there's 4 buildings. 2 look kind of like bunkhouses. It obviously one of them has like a remnants of a fire. It's very much like an open longhouse type feeling. There's 7, 8 beds. The second bunkhouse doesn't look like it's really been used at the moment. It's mostly used storage right now, and then there are 2 kind of farmhouses. One seems to be where maybe they put the sheep. There's a small herd of sheep, probably about 15 sheep. That is their barn, and then the other barn looks like it is stores from crops and some other miscellaneous things. There is some wood and some supplies, but you can definitely tell that all of that is running low. So whatever they have in the fort is whatever they have at the moment. Right now, you control, I don't know, maybe a week, 2 weeks worth of food, depending on how often they're slaughtering sheep. Maybe a little bit longer than that.
I will take the food and the animals out of the building so they do not burn, and bring them down here.
Yeah, the buildings are far enough away from the crops and everything that you could.
Oh, okay.
You could probably maintain the fire as long as there's no really, really big heavy wind. And even if you wound up putting them in the bunkhouse, you didn't do anything directly to the buildings, and they're kind of a stone wood mixture. So you're with your not great survival roll, the town itself is not in any danger.
So I shall look for loot then, with thievery.
Yeah, you find, in the sense of like bulk stuff, you probably find about 1 plunder worth of supplies, food. The sheep kind of deal into that. With personal stuff, you only find miscellaneous jewelry and things like that, maybe worth 30 gold pieces.
Okay, so some money and stuff for the ship.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah, there's more bulk plunder than there is personal.
Oh, Captain, we have some food for supplies.
Very good.
But yeah, what are the rest of you kind of doing?
I'm kind of walking around looking to see if I can possibly see a way in without getting hit by a cannon or catapult.
Roll me a perception.
While we're on land.
With the 16, you can tell that front door is the only way in to the base level of the fort. There are windows at the second, third levels. They're barely more than like arrow slits or like murder holes. But the 4th floor does seem to have kind of a glass pane window. Again, that's a 70-foot climb that you might have to make if you were going to make it. But that 4th floor is the only one that looks like it has normal windows. The rest of them are just maybe slightly bigger than a murder hole.
Is there like walls you can climb up on too, or no? There's no way without a ladder.
You could try. You don't think it would be easy, and then whoever's on that roof is, basic tactics, I feel like, would say oil and tar and rocks dropped on your head. So unless you can do it very, very quickly, it's extremely dangerous to try that.
Okay.
I should like to roll some sort of smarts check to see if we could send fire arrows in there and set the place on fire if we need to. This way we can offer them an ultimatum to surrender or be set ablaze before they starve.
Roll me in intimidation.
I have plenty of intimidation. Except when I roll a fucking 3, I will roll a Dubloon. Dang it. Rolls are shit today. Where's my last Dubloon?
Well, I mean, luckily a lot of these are not like attacking, and there is not necessarily a failure.
Oh, you see that 20 was like, oh, it's right there. It was there.
It's tough to say if that would have a lot of effect. Again, you and Lucky maybe are sitting here checking this thing out and kind of discussing, the engineering structure of this fort. And yeah, if you get a really good shot into a murder hole, maybe, but if there's realistically 12 people, as you've kind of a rough head count of a fire arrow, unless it's some crazy Wilhelm contraption that explodes, isn't going to do much because they're just going to put it out.
What's the roof made of? Shingles?
It is completely stone.
Potteries? Oh, it's stone. Okay.
Yeah, the fortress itself is completely stone, and you can tell that the kind of ramparts are probably about 2.5 feet tall and have just enough space for what you think is the catapult and the siege weaponry, which from here looks like 1 cannon and 2 ballistas now that you're kind of in the day, and then 1 catapult.
What of the doors? That is wood, yes?
It was a wooden
Burn
door,
the
yeah.
doors? Okay. Well, we could intimidate them to come out, Captain.
We probably have to try to sneak in during high tide.
Why sneak in? Intimidate them to leave or die.
That's a crazy intimidation there.
Well, if we don't sneak in during high tide, they can shoot at us.
Cannot reach us.
Not really sure about the best way to go about this.
Well, I mean, we
'Cause
can
on one
always
hand-
go ship.
On one hand, we have the ghost ship, but I worry about turning into a ghost, sailing into the fort, and finding 50 men standing there waiting for us.
And then we become ghosts for real.
Well, as long as we don't leave the ship, we remain ghosts, so we could just sail right back out. Only if we leave the ship,
I
we
think
become
maybe
normal.
if we do this, maybe we leave half the crew not ghost. So if something goes awry, we do not all die like fools. Not to say it won't work, I'm just saying.
Well, it might
As a
not work.
precaution.
You're not wrong.
Then definitely as a precaution.
Then we all die.
I think I learned this ritual when I was still a real goblin. It's a little fuzzy.
Every time you speak about this ritual, I get more and more unsure. And now you are
I
saying
understand.
it is a fuzzy memory and you want to turn me into a ghost?
Yeah, but it's not a real ghost.
How do I know? Apparently, if it does not work, I fall to the bottom of the ocean.
Because you're not a ghost.
Very
What he's
confusing.
saying is it's not very reassuring.
It's just an option.
I would volunteer to be internum captain while you turn yourselves to ghosts, obviously. And that way I can tell the tale of the ghost ship, but I do not like that plan.
I do think my skills would be better to be stealth than ghost.
Yeah, Sandra will be like, I like the idea, the infiltration, the imagination and the utility of such a thing. It's great, but the practicality of it is a little lacking, to be quite honest with you.
The minute we
Always
jump
a
off the ship,
realist.
we turn back and we can kill them all.
He just wants to use his points that he spent. He's going to get us all killed.
It didn't cost no points. What are you talking about?
You
I get
know,
it for
what do you-
free.
How long does
I
it
think
last?
something like
1
that.
hour, Captain. 1 hour. Or until we leave the ship and get
No.
on land.
What if you pull into the harbor and you can't turn the ship around as a ghost? Then you get turned to Swiss cheese, if there is such a thing.
I can turn
Yeah.
into a shark and swim.
It doesn't.
I'm a real good
reassures
swimmer.
your Capitan.
And I have a ring. You
Yarr.
know what? Captain, I'm actually a really good swimmer. I should give you this ring of swimming.
Oh, I am actually a very good swimmer.
Okay. I believe
Surprisingly
you.
enough.
I've actually got like a +10 in swimming.
Oh, nice.
I feel like you click your heels together and your peg leg shoots out little fins when
It's,
you
a,
go
it's got a little,
swimming.
it's
You
got a little motorized propeller on it.
It's like you click a couple
That's
buttons.
pretty good.
At this point, Wilhelm's just kind of like,
Fuck it. This calls for bold action. Gears, how long is it going to take for you to get that ritual up and going?
I need a day to make a zombie or a skeleton. I can only make skeletons right now. And if that works, an hour to make us a ghost ship. 25 hours, Captain.
While he does that, what if we send someone up with a white flag and offer them the ultimatum?
You can
Gears,
do that. I'll just make a
You start
skeleton
getting
while
that
we
ready.
wait. Okay.
That's what captives are for. I'm not offering my life to be shot
Yes.
like a...
We need to find someone who we can make a member of the crew and then slit their throat.
perhaps we give them the opportunity to parlay.
I know. I'll go down there and ask him who wants to learn a secret handshake.
That's good thinking, Lucky.
That could be the last thing we try if all else fails.
I thought it was a good idea, Captain.
It is. That's why we're saving the best for last.
Well, we need to get it going if we want it to be a backup plan, because it takes a day.
I'm all for it.
All right. So
All right, Lucky, your job is to teach a handshake and bring someone up.
You
Dead.
got it.
who
Someone who
here-
really wants to join the crew, so to speak.
Who here has the best? Who would I assume has the most silverest of tongues?
So I'm gonna
Totally
teach you
me.
something really cool.
I have
If
a
you
+10 of diplomacy.
if you
You're making the
go
fucking zombies.
I'm
if
an
you go
intimidator.
into the party sheet, so if you open up your little actor thing and where like you find the stash,
Mhm.
if you click on overview and you
Oh,
click party skills, it'll show you who has the highest and what.
okay. Lucky is quite the intimidator as well.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, I'm very scary. That's it.
I'm good in deception, performance, and diplomacy, not
That is
intimidation.
because you threaten to lick their butts, and nobody wants that.
I say it's very healthy for you. You
It's the only
stuck
time my
with
butt's been licked and I've healed a wound. It's amazing.
it.
Exhaust pipe has never been that polished.
So clean.
Mm. All right.
I'll say Jupiter and Lucky, you'll be ambassadors for the captain.
Say what now?
You'll be ambassadors for me. You'll handle the parlay.
All right. We go
Just bring me
teach
the
him a
body
secret.
first, Lucky.
Oh shit! Why did I take diplomacy?
Well, no, yours would be deception because you're going to convince them to join the crew and why they need to join the crew, and then you're going to kill them.
Oh, those people. Oh yeah, I got that.
Yes. All right, Jupiter, let's go.
Okie-dokie.
Okay.
Okay, you two head off to the fort.
Did Lucky get me a body
Mm.
first? Teach a handshake? Kill
That's what
somebody?
we're doing.
Well,
Oh, I
are
thought
you
that's what we're doing
going
right now?
Yeah, so I just want to understand
think-
that I am clear. You two are going to go to the fortress and talk to them, or are we going, or somebody going back to the ship and getting
Mhm.
the prisoners?
I thought we were going to get a volunteer.
I think what probably we're gonna have to do is kill one of the prisoners.
Okay.
And turn him into a zombie.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
While you all, and I'll send Sandra and Sandra,
Owlbear.
Inigo, and or Iguana and Owlbear with you guys, just in case.
So, am I waving like a white flag as I'm walking to them?
Well, no, you're going to the prisoners on the boat.
I hope so.
I don't know what's
I
going
ain't
on
walking up
anymore.
there.
So you guys are going to the people you captured from the boat that you sank. You're gonna go get
Yes.
one of them. So I will need an intimidation roll.
I
Wait,
thought they
hold
were
on.
going to parlay.
I'm not
yeah.
clear on what's going on now.
Okay,
I
So-
thought we were going to convince someone to join the crew so we can slaughter them, and
Yeah,
then
me
use
So
them
are
as
you?
an
Are
undead,
you're gonna go?
zombie.
So you're
I
going
thought
up
y'all
to
were
the
being sent to
fort.
parlay with the fort.
Hell no.
Okay.
Well, the captain orders you to do it, you do it. If you're on this ship, don't get the first mate riled up.
So is that?
I'll do it. I don't care. I'll go by myself.
The captain
No,
said
no,
you both
no,
go,
you're
you
not
both
gonna-
go.
You're not gonna go by yourself. Let's get this straight. Jupiter, you had the idea to intimidate them to give up, or join the crew or something at the fort, correct?
I had an idea to send somebody who's disposable to go bring the offer to them.
We need somebody with a silver tongue. And I, unfortunately, do not possess such a thing.
I'm only good at scaring people.
Damn it.
It's
Come
my
on,
job.
Jupiter. Do not give in to that term that we all know, fraidy
we
cat.
need-
You're
I'm
not a fraidy
over
cat.
We
Best
need
alive.
gears for the contingent plan. I think what we need to do is get somebody over there to try to get them to surrender the fort to us. And if they don't, ghost ship time.
Yeah, baby. I'll
Okay.
go get the prisoner. I can talk him into it.
So it sounds
Do I
like
hear any
Gears.
protests?
So Gears is going to the ship.
Okay.
They're going to sweet talk the people at the
Gotcha.
Keep.
Just gonna put this
And
out here.
I
for
would
shits and
I would give it.
giggles.
I'm not gonna force any other players to do something they don't want to. I would basically say like, you know,
Gears will. You're
if
the
you
captain.
have any,
You said
if
go.
you
I'll
if you
do
have
it.
any, if you have any protests, speak them now.
I think we should write a well-worded letter and send somebody disposable to go bring it.
What if they can't read?
I somewhat know how to read. I can go.
No, the people there can't read.
Sweet Jesus.
I can read to them.
Oh,
See, someone disposable.
oh my God. Scaredy
Captain-
cat is a true saying. I never knew it.
Man, he makes Slippy look like he was the bravest man we had.
I miss that ugly frog every day.
He used to be my best friend, and then he abandoned me.
Good with a blade, he was.
Fine. Fuck
That's
it. I'll
best.
do it. I'll go up to the fortress. A captain should lead his men into battle anyway.
Well, I will go with you, Captain.
Iguana
God, Captain,
shows up
that's
behind you and
nuts.
says, "I will make sure no harm comes to you, Captain."
And Jupiter, you're on notice, buddy.
Whatever, ghost ship.
You disobey. Oh my goodness.
All right, so Gears
Well,
is
that's a
heading
damn
back
skeleton cat by the end of the night if this keeps up.
to the Mischief's Maiden. Gears, go ahead and roll me an intimidation roll. You are trying to find somebody
No,
to.
I'm trying to use diplomacy. You want to join? I'll
okay,
let you
yeah.
join the crew, and you'll be there for your whole life. You'll be one of us until the
Okay.
day you die.
I'll take a diplomacy for that.
My diplomacy is better, or
That's
my
exactly what I was gonna
deception.
say.
I will do either or.
However you want to word it, that's fine. Either one is fine.
I'm kind of lying to him. I'll do deception. Which one of you want to learn a cool handshake? Join the crew, and you'll be with us until the day you die. One of us, brothers, until your death.
Oh yeah, I'll say there's just one kind of old stubborn man, and it's not even that he's against it. He's just more of like, if I die in my sleep, it'd be better than this. The rest of the prisoners are like, we've been prisoners for a few days now. That sounds like the better option. So you have, a couple more sailors recruited. If there's one of them you kind of, come with me and kill, no problem. So you get
All
your.
right, I take the old man.
All right. Well, while that is happening, Captain, you are going to the fort as I get attacked by dogs.
By the way, if I get a
Iguana.
critical fail, I make an undead skeleton that wants to kill me.
Nice. Lucky.
Oh, please.
Hey,
Uh,
another fun fact is if the prisoners are not crewmates, do they fall to the bottom of the ocean?
You can't even do it if they're not.
No, the prisoners would fall because they're not part of the crew.
Awesome.
Drown.
I guess
Awesome.
Jupiter, are you going back to the Mistress Maiden, or are you going with the captain and that little group?
I'm going back to the boat.
Okay.
I was going to help with the application process.
Gotcha. So, Captain, you, Iguana, Lucky, Sandra, and Owlbear make your way to the fort. By the time you guys get there, though, the
White flag.
water is rather deep now. It has risen from where before you probably had 20 or 30 feet until the staircase, but now the water is pretty much right up to the staircase. And it is roughly waist. It's probably about 3 feet deep
it's
walking
taller
up
than
to
me.
it. So it's, you are on your tippy toes and kind of almost treading up to the staircase. But it doesn't seem that the siege weaponry can shoot straight down, although you do see a couple crossbows aimed at you, and you get to this very strong looking wooden door on the staircase, and you hear kind of from above at the top of the tower, "What do you want? Why are you here?"
Question before this starts.
Yeah.
Do I know if Owlbear can swim?
Well, he's a little bit over 6 feet tall, so he's having no issue right now. But that's a good question. You're not sure.
Owlbear, put this ring on.
Okay. Are you sure? I don't really wear
Yes.
jewelry.
Just wear it until we get back on the ship, and you can give it back to me.
Oh, okay. And he like puts it like only fits on his pinky.
I'll respond to him and say,
We want your fort.
You and half of the shackles.
Of course, and we're going to be the ones to take it.
Oh,
I
and
suggest you give it up if you value your lives.
your mother smells like shit. Go away.
That she does.
You better men than you have tried. What makes you
There is no
different?
better man than the captain.
I'm not claiming to be a good man. I'm claiming to be a good pirate. A damn good one. What say you and I parlay about the terms of your surrender?
I think we are having a fine conversation here.
A coward shows his face through a murder hole.
But this so-called coward has the most defendable fort in the shackles. Why would I give up that advantage for a one-legged, one-eyed pirate, so-called captain? I have never heard of your ship, and I have never heard of his captain, of you, whoever you are.
Lucky, why don't you describe to them just how they'll perish should they not abandon the fort?
Well, you see, first we'll gouge out your eyes and skin your bodies and scalp you, and then we'll keyhole you for fun.
And bring you back to life as zombies.
You
And then we'll
hear
bring you back to life as zombies.
you hear a feminine chuckle, and you kind of see peering down on the top is a woman, who then next to her is a man, and she kind of shouts down at you, "Oh, you don't think we've heard that before? You know how many pirates have wandered up to this door saying that we will take over Tidewater Rock? Huh. What truly makes you any different than them?"
Well, we've got us. You've not faced us before. I
And
don't know.
most
we
pirates
have-
are a bunch of pussies, just like ours.
We have faced
Ran away.
many like you. We don't even know your name. We've standed sieges from pirates who would have a name in the shackles.
Oh, really? Because it seems we've burned your source of food there. So perhaps we could wait you out. Perhaps not. Or perhaps we'll blow into this fort here on a ghostly ship and kill you all in your sleep.
We
I
heard you
will
had
say-
connections. Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you saying, Lucky?
I said, we heard you had connections with a captain we once knew. Well, his first mate is no longer alive, and that was because of us. You think we're afraid that we can't penetrate this fortress? You'd be mistaken.
And there's a pause for a moment, and you hear, "A pirate I once knew, huh? What would be this pirate's name?"
Would you like to buy a vowel?
Recall knowledge roll.
No, I have his name somewhere. It's like right here. But
Somewhere Slippy feels stolen valor from Lucky Walls.
huh?
Does the name Harrigan ring a bell?
You hurt Harrigan.
That guy.
Did we hurt Harrigan?
Caused him
What was his
some
name?
dismay in some way.
Perhaps. Say we are old acquaintances.
Hmm.
I whisper to Sandra, I'm not good at lying. What do I say?
You, Wilhelm and Lucky, you guys can roll me insight checks. So it should be in the basic actions. Or sense
Insight
motive,
check.
maybe. Sorry, sense motive.
Sense motive. Oh, I accidentally rolled it privately.
Sorry, I'll show
There you
it
go.
once
How
it
dare
shows
you.
I
up.
think
Oh,
I think
it
these
both-
get rolled privately by default.
Yeah, I will. Wilhelm, you get the sense that there is some disdain for Harrigan coming from. It's the way she kind of asks if you have, hurt him or caused him some dismay is gleeful, in that regard. Like, oh, did you hurt him, or you have, caused him some issue.
Seems as though that would have been good news for you.
I have no love or respect for Barnabas Harrigan.
Well, we stole one of his ships and killed his first mate.
With that, Lucky, will you roll me a diplomacy with aid? I'll just give you the aid from Captain Wilhelm.
Son of a bitch. I'm not diplomacy at all. All right, let's
It's
try.
all right. I have a -2 for diplomacy.
Should have brought gears with this +10.
Well,
plus four
you'll get a
charisma.
+1 for aid, and then you will get a.
Let me redo.
Okay,
Hey,
Better.
nice.
15.
Okay. She looks down and she goes, "Well, I will tell you one thing. I am not too happy what you did with the crops, but
Well,
I
I didn't do
will
it.
entertain your company for now. But everybody must be unarmed and unarmored upon entering the fort."
It's a trap.
Hmm.
Can I? Oh man,
I'm starting to like the ghost ship idea.
can I tell where she's from?
You can roll me another sense motive. She goes, "And we will take her as hostage while we converse. Don't worry. No harm will come to her, but she will not be with us as we discuss and have a civil conversation."
You'll not be taking any of my crew away from me. See, that's where Harrigan went wrong.
Sorry, what was your question again as to why you were rolling a sense motive?
Can I tell where she's from?
Oh, where she's from? Kind of hard to tell. She's got a, I guess what one may call a Shackles accent at this point, but no, you can't quite pin it.
Okay. Can I tell? You might make me roll another one, but can I tell that if she, by the way that she's talking, is she an honorable person? Like, if we come in unarmed, are we just gonna get ambushed and killed immediately?
Her demeanor definitely changed once you guys said you were enemies of Harrigan. It went from kind of this almost indifferent, slightly hostile, we can wait you out, we can win whatever you're trying to do, to a little bit more welcoming. You don't think that they're just going to jump you. You think that her, she just, why would you want pirates having their weapons and armor if you're going to bring them into your house?
Captain, I can let them take me as a hostage, for I can get out of traps pretty easy and take a weapon if I need to from them.
Good thinking, Lucky. I'll tell you what. Take the Shuni here as hostage, and we'll entertain you.
That will work. And you can kind of hear her muttering some commands, and a couple minutes later, you can hear some bars being lifted from the door, and the door opens, and there is two people who are very distinct looking. This
Hello.
is her.
Oh, she's got that butterface going.
Is this the lady that I learned about?
Yes.
thick.
And this is the gentleman next to her. He's
Got
wearing
that Barbara
kind of
Streisand
a
face.
nice,
Ugh.
both of them kind of dressed in purple attire. He is wearing, looks to be leather armors, and both of them have swords at their side. She says,
He's rocking my hairline. Good grief.
He answers the door, and you can see that there are three what look like guards, behind her, and they look like they're decently equipped, Marines, so to speak. And goes, well, then I guess formal introductions are due. I am Lady Smithy. This is Royster, and this is Tidewater Rock. And that, I think, is where we are going to call the session today.
You guys might want to roll for weaknesses looking around that place where we can, do
That's
the most damage.
exactly my next the next opportunity I get. I'm just gonna be like, oh hi, by the way, I'm Captain Wilhelm Cokenstache. Let's see what you got up here.
Yeah, nice face. Oh, look at that.
But yes, you are being invited into Tidewater Rock for under certain conditions. One, I misread that wrong. They will actually allow you to keep your weapons and armor. They will just take a hostage who they will unarmor and take his weapon. Everything. So that is kind of where we're going to leave it, is you
Okay.
coming in and the guards sort of patting down Lucky, so to speak. And Lady Smithy will look at you and say, he will just be placed in another room while we converse. No harm will come to him. But, insurances are important to both sides of this parlay. We will pick up with the
Understood.
parlay next week. But before we do that, and we will pick up with whatever Gears' weird mechanisms is going
Yo,
on
shit.
back at the boat. But
I'm a
before
thaumaturge. I
we
get rituals.
sail into the sunset, let's go around and talk about where you can be found, what you got going on, tag somebody next, and we will start with we'll start with JT this week.
All right. Well, you can check me out on Friday on my channels for Kaiju Watch, probably early since Mummy's Mask is no longer a thing. And I do not know what we're gonna play yet because it's only Wednesday. But come check it out. It'll be cool, and it'll be after Thanksgiving, and you can watch maybe a Godzilla movie, just like the old school Thanksgiving marathons that they used to run. Right? That'd be cool. Actually, they still run it, but whatever. Come check us out because we're more fun. We talk about it, and it's entertaining. And then Sunday, please check out my Risk campaign, which Mega here is a member of, and that will be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time on my YouTube channel, which is in the chat under the Linktree thingamajiggy. And then back Monday with Moss for Call of Cthulhu on Moonskull, which would be awesome. Actually, I forgot something. Tomorrow is Wednesday After Dark, where we will be hanging out with a certain special small person who I will not name. And then back here next Tuesday. And please join my Discord and check out my gift list for Christmas because I like stuff and I like you guys and we all have fun together. And I will pass it to Biggles because he is the most adorable little thing on his shirt.
Thank you.
I forget what it's called, but that thing.
Stitch.
66.
Yeah, there you go. Stitch.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Biggles. As you guys know, I play Lucky. You can find me at youtube.com/BigglesMets. I am still getting slower or closer and closer to partial monetization on YouTube. So if we can get a couple more watch hours, like less than 400 now and less than 35 subs, then I should hit partial monetization. I play video games there. I do video game playthroughs. Talk a lot about anime. Drunk 3PO is going to be coming on my channel pretty soon to talk about his book. And I do have some tabletop stuff on the channel as well if you play Goblin Slayer. And I have a full campaign on there too that we played. And I will pass it to the Captain, Wilhelm.
Thank you. As JT said, tomorrow night, Wednesday After Dark on Moonskull. Also on Monday, Call of Cthulhu on Moonskull. We just got done with Real Life Fake Wizard as a guest on there, and that was a whole lot of fun. But now with side quests out of the way, it's time to get back into the main mystery, so to speak. Other than that, Thursdays, I don't know about this Thursday. Probably not, for obvious reasons.
I don't think we're. At least we're not playing March of the Dragon Queen. I don't know if we're gonna do something though.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on in there. Probably not March of the Dragon Queen because I assume there's going to be at least 1 or 2 players that are not available. And then, Monday again, right here on Tales from the Dragon's Tavern is Fear of Ages Past. It's our One Ring 2nd edition playthrough of an adventure module. So I definitely didn't write all of it myself, but maybe a little bit. But yeah, go and check that out. Mega.
Thank you, sir. MegaReacts here. You can catch me Sundays on the Eastern Gamers Tabletop channel. I play Norrin Silver, the baddest monk in all the land. Then on Sundays as well, the Rifts game on JT's channel. I'm a mind melter, melting minds, breaking hearts. It's what I do. And on Tuesdays, obviously, I'm here playing Gears of the Goblin. Other than that, check me out on YouTube mostly. That's my main channel. Help me get to 20,000 subs by the end of the year. It's been kind of a slow process. I've kind of slacked off on posting lately. But check me out. Links in the chat. And that's where I'm at. And I'll throw it to JT.
JT already went.
Oh, that's right. I meant JJ. Apologies. Too many damn names with J's in here.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how it was back in the day when me and Biggles were tearing up town because there was 5 of us Jays. It was Jeremy, Jared, Josh, Jason, Jeff, and then Biggles.
Good God.
So we would confuse people a lot.
I was the only non-J.
The odd Biggles out.
Yeah, but yes,
some
please
things never change.
Go follow and
I'm
subscribe
sorry.
to all these wonderful guys, and then follow us and whatnot on the Dragon's Tavern channels. We enjoyed this. Next week will be a lot of fun. We'll see if you guys can parlay your way into the Tidewater Rock or kill everybody that's here.
Go ship.
I
Kill
feel
everyone.
like it can go either way. So
Also,
Mhm.
technically, when a cannonball leaves the ship, would it become material and actually hit? Question of the day.
and is a cannonball part of the crew? Did Lucky pee on it?
Well, the ship
Always.
becomes a ghost ship, but if the cannonball leaves the ship,
Good. That's what I'll have to
I
look.
don't
I'll
know.
have to look at the rules of the ghost ships that I have and see.
I don't think it works that way, to be
we'll
honest. But
see.
I'll throw it out there.
I like the idea though. Yeah,
He
we'll
likes to be
see.
intangible and everything, for God's sake.
I mean, it's the way to go. But yes, thank you for watching. We will catch you guys on the next show on all of these wonderful channels that we're all a part of. And we will see what happens next week on this channel. Have a great night, folks.
And
Bye,
a happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, eat the foods.